Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, AEW Dynamite edition. We are your host, Kyle Tyson, and finger banging over there is Kevin Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kevin Dynamite.
Finger guns are better. Mine are Kenny Omega's.
Oh, I have to see your V trigger. I got to see your V trigger
because I there's no way I'm not even doing a V trigger. I would probably kill myself doing a V trigger to somebody else.
Maybe.
So
whatever. I'll give it to you. Why not? You're my castmate. You win. Yours is better.
I win something over Kenny Omega.
Yeah, there you go. Yo, listen, man. Paul White, Big Show, signed with AEW, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Huge acquisition for AEW. He's going to be commentating on AEW Dark Elevation on Monday evenings at 7 o'clock on YouTube, man. Big Show's a commentator, dude.
I'm curious as to what this show's all about, though. They didn't really say anything. You know, like what's not that like I'm intrigued, you know, not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I want to know more. Maybe they were just holding that over, you know, for next week when Paul White's going to be there, you know. Yeah.
I mean, they went over how it's essentially going to be continuity to everything else, like Dark is. Honestly, it just probably strikes me as like, look, man, Dark sometimes has like 18 matches, runs 2.5 hours long, you know.
Yeah.
It could be just they needed an extra slot. So we even have more wrestling, folks. More wrestling is what we're getting along to here.
No, you're right. Dark is so freaking long. It's so freaking long.
Yeah. You guys, if you're new to the show, we are a wrestling recap show. We cover WWE and AEW. You can catch us live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, covering Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown on twitch.tv/puttingyouover. If you're trying to catch our NXT recap, they shoot that at the same time over on our other channel, twitch.tv/SmackedRaw podcast, where you can catch Katie Bebe and Mr. RN running down our NXT recaps. So
yeah,
you can always catch them over there. If you miss any of the live recaps, though, you can always head on over to youtube.com/SmackedRaw podcast. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, that notification bell. So if you can't stay up with us, you'll be notified every time we upload another episode of the podcast. In our other shows, like
best notification ever.
There you go. Our other show like UWO, which is pretty popular. I got to book the next episode. I got the tweets.
I was going to say, I think you said you had the tweets, so I'm excited to see. Well, we know who you're going to book, or everybody's going to burn you or something. You
guys are putting a lot of pressure on me in the group chat to book these specific guests. I've never had so much demand. I've had a couple times. A couple people say they had to be on, but man, there's something special about this episode. Yeah, man. Look, while you're at it, man, supporting us and checking us out, head on over to WrestlingNewsWorld.com. Subscribe to that webpage. Keep up on your wrestling news. Hear their thought pieces and articles. They're cool, man. They make us the exclusive recap podcast on their show, so we got to shout them out every episode.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And then, of course, if you want to support
plus
us...
their content's...
Huh?
I was going to say, plus their content's really good.
It is, man. It really is.
I like it.
And then you can support us. Kevin, where can they support us financially?
Well, I feel like I need some support financially, maybe with some antacid or something after that. Jesus Christ. So you can go to www.patreon.com/SmackedRawPod, and we got stuff we can give you for money that you can give us. You know, we got stickers, we got shirts, we got advertising. What the fuck? A podcast advertising tier. We're crazy. You can get on said UWO show and but not as a cast member, but we'll tell you how bad your opinion is, you know. But you can even do it in a video form. So fucking A, do it.
Just do it.
But yeah, I mean, just go over there. You know, you see this mic, this beautiful mic, this beautiful area. It's all been thanks to Patreon. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. Of course, we shout out every new patron too that supports us, even starting at the $1 tier. Just head on over, man. Help us out. All right. Dynamite, Kev. Dynamite.
What a dynamite.
What a dynamite, man. I was like, God, we must be getting towards the end of the show just because so much stuff had happened and it was just becoming 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it was a dense show for sure.
Yeah. Stuff was going on.
But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here. The only thing I had trouble with, I couldn't keep up with the notes on when they were going over the women's tournament and then all the stuff that's going on next week and at the pay-per-view. They were just like machine gunning like these results off and what's coming up. But yeah.
Have you watched any of the women's tournament on YouTube?
I have not.
Ooh,
I have
man.
not. I keep sleeping on it. You know what? I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch it in VR tonight.
It's dope. I watched it. I watched both episodes of it. I mean, Yuka Sakura there. Yuka Sakazuki, excuse me.
Yes.
The Magic Girl. Oh, I'm so happy she's back. And she's in the semifinals right now too. So, you know, who knows? It's been really dope. Been really, really dope. It's too bad more of the matches haven't been on Dynamite, honestly, because they've been really good.
Exactly. I mean, and it's not just the Japanese ones. There was a couple American ones that took place on YouTube as well. They did like the same thing for their women's tag team tournament when they were going for those medals, the tag team medals.
Yep. Like the Tay Conte Nyla Rose match.
Yeah.
That was really dope.
I heard that some people were saying that's Tay Conti's best wrestling match to date. Like televised on either NXT or AEW.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, it was really, really good. Like really, really good.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get on to the show. Anyways.
Sorry about that.
No. I was trying to find a way to bounce off of it, and I was like, man, I haven't seen enough. Like, from one good thing to another. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Dynamite kicked off tonight with Moxley taking on Ryan Nemeth, brother to Dolph Ziggler. Looks just like the guy. Moxley beats him in the opening 5 minutes. The only reason why I know this is I was watching South Park, but their time slots aren't normal time slots, you know, like 30 to hour to 30. Theirs are like 45 to 15. So I'm in the middle of a South Park episode and I look down and it's like 8:04 and I was like, son of a bitch. So I tune in to
the match was already over.
Dynamite just as Moxley is hitting the what do they call it? Death Rider? Or Paradigm Shift. Which one do they call it now? It's Paradigm Shift, right? It's Death Rider in New Japan.
Yeah, that's what I thought they called it tonight on commentary, was the Paradigm Shift.
Yeah. But yeah, I tune in just in time to see Moxley hit him, so like 5 minutes into the show.
It was a nasty Paradigm Shift, though.
Right. Nemeth sold the shit out of that. It was good.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Well, I feel bad for the guy, man.
Yeah?
Like, he's just been in like glorified squash match after glorified squash match, you know, the poor guy.
I mean, at least they gave him a personality. He's not coming out like James Ellsworth. He's
That's true.
What, the Hollywood hunk or something is what he calls himself?
Yeah. And he fucking looks like a Hollywood hunk.
He does, man.
Like,
absolutely.
Like, if I pictured a Hollywood hunk in my brain, it would be him. No question.
Moxley's promo afterwards was the real star here. Damn, man. Puts over ever since he's lost the AEW championship that, you know, he would drag himself over barbed wires, crawl over landmines, And he says, never thought that's literally what I'd have to do to get the belt back. He puts over how brutal the match is. Then he cuts a really like impassioned promo where he quote unquote is addicted to wrestling. This sounded like super similar to Eddie Guerrero's famous addicted promo he did facing off against Brock Lesnar, which that also was fantastic. Yeah, needless to say, probably Moxley is one of his best promos. This is something I'd send back to RN because RN gives Moxley a ton of crap all the time.
No, yeah, this was like, I mean, the most other than like when he did the promo or like the whatever for Brody Lee.
Yeah,
I don't know if you call that a promo, but you know what I'm saying. This is probably the most impassioned I've ever seen him. You know. Like, I felt like this dude was on the verge of tears, like, while he was screaming about stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There was no, like, hokey, zany character here, man. It was pretty deliberate, even though he was still talking about such an over-the-top premise like a barbed wire exploding death match, is.
Right.
I did
I felt it.
Dude, he's totally eating that L and taking a vacation because he even foreshadowed it here. He said, even if I don't come out of this match, he's like, what a match to go out on, almost like a suicide mission is kind of like how he was alluding to it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what's going on outside of the ring for him, it kind of makes sense.
Dude's
you know what I'm saying?
Leave, man.
Yep, exactly. And so, yeah, not drop the belt, but go out on a note like that. Oh my God, you can sell that it was just a brutal match, and imagine when he comes back, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be some fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Nobody sells injuries anymore.
Yeah, Well, what if they explode though? What if they explode? Sell it then.
Yeah.
Lance Archer and
I'm just being an asshole.
Ray Phoenix have this funny little segment backstage where Ray Phoenix in Spanish says that Lance Archer was the worst tag team partner he's ever had. And they had like some funny little choreographed brawl too where Ray was acting like a matador to Lance Archer being a bull. Yep. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I really liked it. And it's just as cheesy and corny as it was. I love that they cut out of the with the dude running into the cameraman. Like that's so
how they
corny,
cut out of the segment.
Like 90s. Yeah, but it was like it's just funny to me,
Yeah. First match of the night was the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. And Griff Garrison taking on Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Taz on commentary. What'd you think of this match, man?
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
It's fair.
I honestly thought that Team Taz was just going to go out there and beat the living shit out of Varsity Blondes. And that is not at all what happened.
No.
So, and that surprised me, honestly. So, oh my God, I Big Jungle Boy. I can't remember his name.
Griff Garrison.
Holy shit. Like the athleticism that he has, like that jumping out of the ring or whatever. Holy God, that was insane. Like that dude's nuts.
No, they are. That's kind of like the overall feeling I had of the match was they got a surprising amount of offense, and people have often criticized AEW for that too, where they think I think it was most notable. Kenny Omega was facing, I hate to say it because the guy might be but essentially a no-name independent star who he didn't sign to Dynamite. I don't know if he's on Dark at all, but the guy got like a solid 10 minutes with Kenny, and everybody's like, yo, Kenny shouldn't be, going this long with somebody. Although here I didn't mind it. Because I think the Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison are eventually going to be a better tag team.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be scraping tag team gold, but I don't think they're going to be like jobbers forever. So I do think you have to give them some offense.
No.
And
exactly. Then, I don't think those dudes are bottom feeders at all. I just think that they need to. You got to let it kind of grow a little before
Yeah.
you start really pushing them. You know,
There was a nasty spot. Brian Cage power bombs Brian Pillman into the ring post in like the corner of the stairs. It was a brutal looking spot, man. I think one of the commentators was like, "Oh shit," when he saw it, like reaction wise, not even like trying to sell it, just caught the commentator off guard when he saw it.
I think it was Shivani actually.
Hell yeah, I love Shivani, man. Shivani loves wrestling, and it comes through in his work, man. Shivani's a effing treasure, man.
No, he really is. He really is. I'm kind of over JR though. I got to tell you, as much as it pains me to say that, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Like the magic's just not there for me anymore with JR. Like it's not that it's bad. It's just like I don't like. I'm not like, oh shit, it's JR.
Forever, you know. It's not like he can do this forever.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I think that's
I know.
There's a lot of other commentators on on Dark, and now of course Paul White coming in. Paul White's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, Taz is really good too.
Yeah.
You know, Jericho, Jesus, they have all sorts of guys, you know.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. Jericho's somebody, when he hangs it up, man, I hope we get a couple of years of commentary with him. Hell, I don't even. It'd be funny.
One of the best heel commentators ever.
It'd be funny if he actually just goes all the way down to just backstage interviewer. Did you ever watch?
And has to work his way up.
Did you ever watch Southpaw Regional Wrestling? The spoof WWE did on their YouTube channel of like 80s pro wrestling.
No.
That sounds awesome. Dude, that is especially season 1. All these names like John Cena, Fandango, Chris Jericho, a lot of guys, they get in on these little YouTube videos. It's just like this little mini series. It's genuinely hilarious. You have to watch it. But Chris Jericho plays a backstage interviewer, and his style is hilarious, man. Oh, he's so good.
I got you. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, no, for sure. So after the match is when the craziness starts. This is when, we got a special Dynamite. We get a video, Darby Allin being pulled behind a car with Sting driving it. It pans to him after it stops. He sits up, comes out the body bag. He smiles, and it just says, "I lived." And
so dope. So dope.
Sting comes out, dragging a body bag himself. You think it's probably Darby Allin. Ends up being Hook, Taz's son. And
I didn't think they would do something like that. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, holy shit, that was kind of brutal.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, man. And then Darby Allin, like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, zip lines to the ring. An all-out brawl takes place. Allin takes out Ricky Starks. Sting is able to go ahead and take out Brian Cage. He hits both a Stinger Splash and a Scorpio Death Drop to Brian Cage, allowing these guys to stand tall, give us a taste of the street fight. Most notably, I don't know why my brain can't turn this off. Did you see them edit the zip line footage?
Oh, that was awful. That wasn't good. So, I mean, the overall segment was great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm into it, but oh my God, that was bad.
That was a bad execution, man.
Yeah. Like Darby Allin's like kicking at Brian Cage, and then it was
So
it was bad.
If you're not familiar, you didn't watch it for whatever reason, you're listening to us first. The zip line goes to the ring where Darby Allin is supposed to attack Ricky Starks. However, Darby, you can see from the footage, it zip lines him all the way to the corner where Ricky Starks is, and as Ricky Starks begins to move out of the way, it just cuts to Darby Allin releasing himself in the middle of the ring, and then the brawl starts, and you're like, oh man, there must have been a solid like 5 to 15 seconds of Darby just swinging and dangling above the ring. I cannot wait for the cell phone footage to come out of how that segment really played out.
Well, it looked like he was having a hell of a time trying to get that harness undone too.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why you got to do the way Sting did it, man. That's why you got to do the rappel, not the zip line.
Right.
Anyways, but it was still good. The segment was still good. It was just for the keen eyes. You can see the terrible editing.
Yeah, it was awkward. It was not good.
Yeah. Speaking of not good, next segment, Tony Schiavone sitting down with Miro, Kip Sabian, and Penelope Ford. Boy, this feud is dead in the water, Kev.
You think so? I mean,
oh man, it's so, dude, you can tell everybody involved wants to be doing something else. Like,
no, I hear you, but the only thing I popped for the fucking note. Tell me you didn't pop for that goddamn note.
From the what? Tell me, what do you mean? I may have missed it.
The note that Tony Schiavone gets.
Oh, the note. Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing is so I'll run it down.
I hear what you mean. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that note, oh my God, I laughed so fucking hard.
Man, I don't know. I found it corny. I think we're divided on this one. I wasn't about it.
Well, that's why it was so good to me, is it was corny. And it's something exactly what fucking Orange Cassidy would do, you know?
Well, actually, I think it's the other way. I think it's from Chuck, and here's why. Because I think it was Miro was trying to tell a joke, but the joke didn't land. Because Miro essentially is going off about how much they hate Orange Cassidy, but Miro's actually
you're right.
A fan of Chuck, but he calls Chuck childish. And he says, you need to be a man and come back, you know, and we'll bring you back, but you're acting childish. That's when the note comes into play, and it's clearly a childish note saying, have a match with me, circle yes, no, or maybe. And then if you didn't get the joke, Miro comes up and says, you know, that's what I mean about these childish games. And so I was just like, okay. It was a lame joke to me, man. It did not land. I'm glad you liked it, but it did not land. I think it was garbage.
You're shut up.
Well, then you're not gonna like this next part because I went on to put in my notes. This is the second worst story next to when Brandy Rhodes was running around cutting people's hair as part of the Nightmare Collective, man.
That was bad.
Yeah, this is the second worst. This is.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I necessarily like the story.
Yeah.
But the note was funny. That's all. That's it.
All right, fine, man. You like the note? I got you.
I really did. I laughed really. I was like, yeah, because you're right. Miro was like, be a man. And then he's like,
and then he
gives him like this elementary note.
Yeah.
It was telegraphed, you know, and it was corny. But hey, man, dad jokes. I like those too.
Yeah. Something else that was telegraphed was the finish of this match. Jake Hager taking on Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler, remember, was the first person to help the Bucks out when they were getting destroyed by Inner Circle last week. That's how he ended up getting the match. It was announced, I think, last week, and then they even covered more of it on Being the Elite. Dude, Being the Elite was hilarious because I think it's Matt Jackson was talking to Brandon Cutler, was like, thanks, man, you know, and then for coming to save us, you know, when Good Brothers took forever, which, by the way, on Being the Elite, the kayfabe, what held up the Good Brothers was they had to go to the restroom and do something. I'll leave it at that. You should just watch the clip. Kayfabe, what hung them up. But Matt's like, yeah, man, do you want a match next week against Jack Swagger? And Nick Jackson kept saying, no, it's Jake Hager. WWE owns Swagger, you know, and just completely keeps no-selling it. He's like, no, man. He's like, it's all good. You helped us out. We'll get you back on Dynamite for the first time since 2019. It's you and Jack Swagger. And it was funny. They kept calling him Swagger and then telling him, like, you have to stop. But I don't think they can make you stop on YouTube. Like, it's not part of the television. YouTube's not copywritten. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea how any of that works. But
I don't know how that works either. I know you can't play like copyrighted music and shit like that, but no. I don't know.
Calling somebody by their character name on a different show.
I don't think that's like, that'd be like saying you couldn't call friggin' Superman or something.
That'd be like us saying we can't call somebody wrestlers by their names on YouTube.
Yeah, we'd be.
Yeah, no, we have to come up.
Be like, well, yeah, you know, the guy, they were wrestling the other guy, and then the girl outside of the ring, she got involved. You know?
Lenny Omega. No. Well, anyways, the match is pretty much what you expect. Jack Swagger or Jake Hager dominating Cutler throughout the match. He gets a nice wheelbarrow German suplex. Hager bomb, formerly Vader bomb, But one thing during the match, though, Cutler gets Hager outside. Cutler's got a hell of a tope.
He
tope
does.
suicida.
Yeah.
That was legit, man. He's got a hell of a dive.
Yeah.
But
those suplexes by Hager in this match, man. Holy shit. All of them look brutal. They were so good. So good.
Yeah, they both earned their paydays tonight. Afterwards, though, Inner Circle comes down to continue the beatdown on Cutler. Out comes the Bucks. The runs off everybody. They call out MJF and Chris Jericho. MJF and Chris Jericho appear on the Tron. They're in front of the merch truck with the Bucks face, which earlier in the show, the Bucks were getting their pictures taken by their parents in front of the truck. Chris Jericho reveals that they have attacked Papa Buck, left him in a overselling bloody mess. Papa
this
Buck
was so Jericho.
Yeah,
you know? This was so.
When Jericho gets his hands on a segment.
Yeah. Well, MJF fits right in with this shit, though, too. You know, it's just the kind of slimy shit you could imagine that he would be doing, you know?
You got to think he's having the time of his life. He's a young guy. Like MJF, because of like how. What's that? I said, you got to think he's having the time of his life. He's such a young guy. Like MJF, I think, is not even 25 yet.
I think you're right. I think he's only 24.
Yeah, he's super young. The dude to be paired up with Jericho doing this week in and week out, that has gotta just be a crazy good experience. Something that you'd want to talk to him about later on, like in a tell-all book. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my God.
He's 24. He'll be 25 actually in March. March he'll be 25. Jesus.
Oh, so he's almost 25.
That high up the card, so young.
Yeah, dude, I was actually thinking about that earlier when they were cutting this promo and shit. I was like, yo, this is already his second title shot.
No, talking about MJF?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him and Jericho's.
Well, no, I know. Yeah, because Jericho had the belt.
Jericho had a belt, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like because MJF wrestled John Moxley for the belt, and then
That's
now
true.
he's getting the tag title shot.
Oh, didn't he go for? He also went for the TNT title. I want to say at one point, maybe.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I
don't remember though.
And he's the 2-time Diamond Ring winner.
Yeah,
That's technically like a championship.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he already has a whole shit ton of accolades,
dude,
too.
Yeah, he really does. He's a really accomplished guy already.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, MJF and Jericho get out of there. By the way, Bucks, not much urgency in their running.
I know.
They
were kind of jogging.
Just casually jogging.
With purpose, but they were only jogging.
Once they find Papa Buck, Matt Jackson finally for real sprints off after the SUV that Jericho and MJF are taking off in. Man, I loved it. It was this is one of my kind of cheesy things that I like.
Well, Inner Circle stuff with Jericho and MJF, it's gold. I mean, they haven't missed for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like even their misses are good. You know. And this rivalry, this is just it's so good to get this so close to the the pay-per-view and stuff, because there hasn't been that much of a build towards this specific match. You know what I'm saying? And they're heating it up right at the right time.
Yeah, I really am excited though. As much as I like the story, I am excited for it to kind of wrap up and get back to showcasing your tag talent though. You know what I mean? No, just around the goal. Like, we'll get the Inner Circle implosion and all of that stuff, in which I'm excited for the story. I'm really looking forward to the Lucha Bros era with those belts, and we get insane matches. But I have no problem with this now. I'm really looking forward. The tag division always gets me excited, and that's the thing. They really do. I love the tag
an
division.
AEW? Yeah, it's what they do best. It's tag team wrestling for sure.
What else we get up yet? Isaiah Cassidy, dude. Him and him and Hangman had a hell of a match. I really thought that was going to be a squash match, and Isaiah had a good showcase. I love that Matt Hardy is buying his help. So I don't know where Quen was this week. Quen wasn't there, but it was Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and TH2, which Matt Hardy purchased their services for $3,700. And they took on Hangman Page, who was super aggressive in this match. He looked like at points he was beating up a child. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Isaiah's quite a literal baby face.
Yeah, he's young. He's even younger than, well, he's around freaking MJF's age. Speaking of youngins.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I mean, early 20s, I'm saying. No older than 25. But,
no, definitely not.
This match, what's that?
Oh, definitely not 25.
Yeah. No, this match was way better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. And, you know, I didn't think it was going to be a squash match necessarily, but I didn't think that, like, you know, Isaiah Cassidy was going to hold his own quite as well against Hangman, especially because, like, dude hasn't had much experience, like, you know, on one-on-one wrestling matches and stuff like that. So I was like, I thought that maybe that would be the story.
Yeah.
But I mean, he looked like he belonged there, you know?
Yeah, he's 23.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like I said, he's super young himself. No, man, the story of the match really is that in the beginning, especially, Hangman was very aggressive and dominant, so there would be outside help. Matt Hardy, like TH2, distracting Aubrey. Matt Hardy would, like, you know, pull Hangman off the apron, throw him into the ring post. Afterwards, it did prompt John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order to come out and essentially tattletale on.
They got out there lickety fucking split, man. They wasted no time. No time.
They didn't even attack Matt. They just tattled. They grabbed Aubrey and was like, he hurt him, and Aubrey kicks Matt Hardy out. And then at that point, the real match kind of begins. Isaiah really starts to have some strong offense, continuing to work over the right arm to prevent the buckshot lariat. But ultimately, after a good back and forth, Hangman hits the Deadeye for the win. After the match, Matt Hardy, like a psychopath on the mic, says, "You chose the Dark Order over big money. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the Dark Order one by one." At which point he arrives. He has Alan Angels, number 5. Tosses him off the stage through the Timekeeper's table, which that's an awesome spot. Like, that's a fantastic spot in their stage.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, man. Because you had Kenta doing the double foot stomp to Mox through the table, too.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Oh,
that was so dope, though. Yeah.
But
no, that was cool. I was into that. It's still teasing Hangman into the Dark Order, even though he said no, is kind of cool. You know.
Well, now he has to come to their defense every week. Now with Matt Hardy looming over the Dark Order, it's like, is Hangman gonna protect these guys, have their back, or is he gonna leave the Dark Order to defend themselves? What I don't understand is, it's canon. The Dark Order 90% of the time moves as a unit. We see them, like, the entire group moves together. Like, they're never, like, broken up.
There's at least 2 of them together at all times.
Yeah,
basically
they should technically have the numbers advantage almost at all times against Matt Hardy. You know what I mean? Unless he's, like, waiting outside like the bathroom or something, just trying to catch one after he's, like, fresh off the toilet or something. You know,
maybe that's what, I mean, he is a psychopath.
I don't know, man. I'm excited to see how they play it out on Being the Elite on Monday.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Dude, now I know this next segment's right up your alley, Kev. I know it. Don Callis, Kenny Omega in the workshop.
Jesus Christ. I loved it. I loved it. Like, what did he call the machine they were making?
The Moxley Extermination Chamber. Fresh after the Elimination Chamber.
That was so dope. And, like, Kenny Omega's shit-eating grin the whole time. Like, he was just so proud of himself. You know,
that looked like a fun segment to shoot, man. Just like
yeah.
this workshop. They're essentially, man, they have like almost pretty much a door frame, and all they're doing is attaching barbed wire to it. But they make it out like they're doing this huge science like project, attaching landmines and you know. But if you actually look what's on the table, it's like a couple pieces of wood and barbed wire.
Yep.
But it was hilarious, man. It was really good.
Perfect Kenny Omega, Don Callis stuff.
Oh god, I love their chemistry, man. I love it.
So good. It's so good.
Speaking of so good, match of the night easily in my books is actually Nyla Rose and Britt Baker. I was thinking this. I kind of almost feel like we got two main events tonight. You know? Yeah, well, because this was towards the women's tournament.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is that like this match and the next one kind of both felt like main event caliber matches. You know what I'm saying?
We would have had the same impact going off the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Easily, yeah. No, you're right by that. Either one of them could have been the official main event.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really dope that it like one of them was a woman's match. You know what I mean? Because it was really fucking good. You're right. I've
got to say though, I think Nyla Rose is going to have one issue, although I don't see that being a big one. It might actually fall on the other people that face her. Is Nyla Rose kind of just turns anybody she faces face because of how much larger she is, and then on top of that, her character is a bastard. She's terrible.
Supposed to be badass. Yeah.
And so even facing off against Britt Baker, who Britt Baker herself is a heel, you easily still found yourself cheering for Britt because she became an underdog. And almost no amount of heel tactics Britt took made you want to boo her.
I hear you.
Yeah, so it's almost like if you end up in a match with Nyla Rose, one way or another, you're going to be a babyface.
Yeah. At least for that match.
At least for the match, yeah. I mean, at the very, very true.
But no, I mean, like, here's the thing about this shit too, man. Is that like, these are two ladies that like when AEW first started, you could tell they were like, they've improved
super green
so much,
super green, both of them.
Yeah, and like now, like they're putting on main event caliber matches on Wednesday nights. You know. It's great to see this kind of talent working out in that kind of a way, you know, for AEW, because these are, you know, that they are AEW, especially like Britt Baker, you know what I mean? Like she's incredible, you know, important to the company and everything else. So it's just cool, you know? Yeah.
Britt obviously undersized, is squashed in the early goings of the match and pretty much throughout the entire thing. She does this nice little tantrum spot. You don't really see heels doing too many tantrums, but as of late.
It was funny though, because Shivani was really putting it over. He was like, "Yep, here she goes.
Yeah, I know her. She's got a temper."
Yeah. It was like he was like chastising her as her father or some shit. Like it was hilarious.
Sick of your shit, Britt.
Pretty much. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, she's outside the ring. I almost thought that she was going to get herself counted out, just walk out.
Yeah.
She's like tossing shit around and everything. She goes back in. She tries to get the upper hand on Nyla. Nyla just is squashing her and shutting her down at every turn. She ends up at one point, though, able to pull Nyla's shoulder first into the ring post. Later on, we get a superplex where Nyla superplexes Britt and then follows through into another suplex. But then Britt suplexes Nyla into the corner. That was a nice one.
Yeah. That was probably the coolest spot of the match, I thought, really.
Reba got involved at one point. She ended up getting cannonballed. When Nyla tries to cannonball Britt, that's her first attempt at the lockjaw. However, Nyla, being too big, is able to kind of just like suplex out of it. And then, surprisingly, this is a weird one. Saw Britt Baker get choke slammed. You don't really see women get choke slammed. So
right?
That was when I saw that move. I mean, I don't know if there's anything bad about it. It's just that's a move that you don't really see women do. You know?
Well, yeah, and to your point, we were saying earlier too, like when you see, you know, Nyla Rose being able to perform moves like that on women, because she is just that much bigger. It's
Yeah.
like it's hard not to root for the person that just got
Yeah.
fucking chokeslammed. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. The Britt Baker's able to get the lockjaw on a second time, finally gets it locked in. However, Nyla pounds her way out. She ends up hitting a beast bomb, and at that point, the match is over. And Britt hits a kick out at 2, man, and that was the shocking part. I don't think there was a soul alive that expected Britt to kick out of that beast bomb.
Nope. That was when that was the switch that you're talking about right there. It was like, oh man, I kind of want Britt Baker to win. You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit, I can't believe she kicked out of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It wasn't to be, though. After avoiding a tombstone, Britt goes for a super kick, eats a second beast bomb. That puts her down. I don't think it's an official face turn, but I got on Twitter afterwards, and there was a lot of people that was like either Britt should have won or flat out, I'm ready for a Britt Baker championship. So she won.
No, that was a hell of a match, you know. And yeah, she got over as a babyface, I think, and I think it's because of Nyla Rose. You know what I'm like? To your point, you know.
I think people have already slowly been becoming fans of her work.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's that too.
Yeah, tonight was kind of like almost like a launching pad that validated her, because I mean she went through hell in that match and kept coming.
Yeah, that was a hell of a counter to a super kick into the beast bomb too. That was really cool. I thought that was dope. And then, of course, the battle for the lockjaw, man. Holy crap! I was like,
yeah,
it was those spots were really cool, and then the suplex spot. It was just a really good match. I had a lot of fun watching it.
I think. Who do you think's going into the finals?
I want Thunder Rosa to go.
Yeah, but she got her own thing going with the NWA championship, you know.
No, I hear you. I want her to go only because I just don't like. I'm not necessarily into Riho Nyla Rose again right now.
Yeah, same here.
That's the only reason. But I hear you. I wouldn't be mad at it. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm sure that they would put on a great match because every time they've had a match before, I've been like, holy shit, this is way better than it should have been, because why isn't Nyla Rose just like stomping on her to squash her like a bug, you know? Yeah. But the finals, like I Nyla Rose and probably Yuka Sakazaki.
Okay. I'm trying to find the bracket, see if I can't find a picture of the updated bracket right now. Here we go. So we have Thunder Rosa and Riho, and the winner of that will be facing Nyla Rose, who won tonight.
Yep.
And then the winner of that match, either Riho and Nyla or Thunder Rosa and Nyla, is going to take on Rio or Yuka. Oh, that's going to be Nyla and Yuka.
Yeah,
that's going to be
that's what I'm
Nyla
hoping
and Yuka.
for.
Yeah,
and honestly, I'm kind of hoping Yuka will win.
Me too, because I'm really not. I mean, as much as I like Shida, I'm really not into like Nyla Shida 3.
I'm not into that either. Also, like, think about how over Yuka Sakazaki would be if she won this goddamn tournament and then won the belt at Revolution. Like they have a star out of fucking nowhere. You know what I mean? Like a legit baby face, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, Yuka, I remember back when AEW first launched, instantly caught my eye. The outfits like straight out of Final Fantasy and stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know, here's the thing about Japanese wrestling and wrestlers in general. Like I fucking, I was like, yo, when it clicked, I was like, they're just anime characters.
Yeah.
That's all they are, all of them, you know? And it's like, I'm not a big anime guy, but like, I do love like JRPGs and shit, which are basically just anime in video game form, you know? So like, I was like, yeah, there we go. I get it now, because like I would watch New Japan a little bit and I was like, this is just kind of like, they're really like the melodrama here is just way crazy. And like the ridiculous poses and shit like that they do, you know what I'm saying? And then I went, oh, they do all that shit in anime. Got it.
Dude, no, the parallels are definitely there. Sorry, I was pulling up because I said I wasn't able to take the notes because we got a hype video for Jurassic Express taking on FTR. Did you know Tully Blanchard will be taking place in this match? According to this promo, his last match was in 1989. The man has not competed in 32 years. But he's obviously in good shape, man. Yeah.
No, he is, but Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Like, please don't, Tully Blanchard.
He's probably been out of wrestling longer than he was in wrestling.
Yeah.
No. And then, so we also get a preview of the women's tournament, which I think we just updated you on the last 4. Also, we get, we'll hear from Big Show.
The rest of it, though, is on the Bleacher Report or whatever on Sunday.
They also announced a 6-woman tag match. That's the only one I can't find right now.
Yeah, I can't remember that either.
But we do have. So what do we have next week? We've got FTR and Tully taking on Jurassic Express. We have the Chris Jericho and MJF press conference. Oh, that's gonna go smoothly. Shaq and Jade finally taking on Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet. Big Show's definitely appearing there. And then Dark Order taking on Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Hybrid 2.
That's going to be dope, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be a 10-man tag match right there. Yeah. The only person, I guess, not taking place in that match for the Dark Order is going to be Dark Order's 10 taking on Max Cassidy from the Acclaimed for the final spot in the what's it called? The face of the Revolution tag or ladder match.
Yep.
I think that'll be the final announced spot. 6th spot will be announced on the pay-per-view. They're gonna dangle that carrot in front of you.
Okay. So, next week's the going home show for Revolution 2, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it's the go home show. Cannot wait, man.
Oh man, Revolution looks dope.
Last up, the main event of the evening, like Kevin I said, you could have swapped this out with the women's match, either or. Both fantastic matches. I kind of give the edge to the women just because I think it told a great story for Britt Baker. But Ray Phoenix and Lance Archer, man, they tore this freaking place down.
Oh, yeah.
This was a qualifying match for, once again, Face of the Revolution 6-man ladder match. Jake the Snake at one point pulls Ray Phoenix off the top rope, and then Ray, in turn, leaps over Jake onto Lance Archer. Ray will flip and jump over anything you put in front of that man.
Yep.
The story was badass here, though. Lance Archer being so much bigger than Ray. Instead of Ray Phoenix using his speed overly to his abundance, instead it was just Ray was beat down and everything he threw was with desperation. Like he sold the fact that he was hanging by a thread most of that damn match. And
I'll tell you what though, some of those chop battles, Ray Phoenix probably won at least a few of those.
Ray got a chop, man, dude.
Well, that one chop,
I know which one
you're talking about. The same one,
yeah.
I literally grabbed my chest and lost my breath. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like that had to have hurt.
God
so
knows,
bad.
Yeah, dude. That one echoed. That echoed throughout the entire arena.
It sure did,
dude. They hit this 6 spot. Ray and dude, for one, Lance Archer is about as big as you can get while still pulling off all these crazy agility moves. Ray Phoenix and Lance Archer do a top rope Spanish fly, which knock your socks off, man. Dude, and the fact that Lance Archer does the whole old school walking the ropes, but instead of doing the hammer, he does a freaking moonsault on top of poor Ray. Of all people, you really want man, you stand at 5'8", you want a 6'7" Lance Archer, and I'm being generous with that height for Ray Phoenix too, by the way.
God, man.
But
he doesn't have any business being that athletic at the size that he is. It's ridiculous.
hell no. Oh my god, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything Ray though was throwing, he constantly was getting swatted down. And then before you knew it, you're looking at the time. They say it goes to end of TV time, and it's like 10:58, man. And this match still feels like it's in high gear. I feel like I don't know if they were just out of position with the match or if it was supposed to go like this. The ending kind of came really abruptly. Like once they announced, hey, this match is over in a minute, and if it comes to a draw, neither man are in the ladder match. It was like boom,
all
boom,
of a sudden
boom.
It was over.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Darby Allin's fault.
Maybe dangling.
But I hear you. The ending did feel just a touch awkward.
Yeah. Lance Archer hit a pounce, then a choke slam followed by his finishing move. I think it's called the blackout.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's dope as fuck. Dude.
It is a really good move. Ray just knows how to sell.
He's dead.
Dude. God. But
I think he's clinically dead right now, actually.
No, we saw a bit of life because after Lance pinned him, he lifts his head up just enough to put so he can see he has a fist in his face, and Ray gives like a lifeless fist bump.
And he just drops it.
And he just drops it.
I was like, "Damn, dude, that was harsh." That was a dick move.
Show me something that's respectful and disrespectful at the same time.
Yeah.
But that was Dynamite, man. What a fun show.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It kept my I was invested the whole goddamn time. You know, I don't think there was I mean, you're right. The Miro stuff is whatever.
Yeah. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. I feel bad for all parties involved with that story right now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this will be over with at Revolution. But other than that, man, holy shit, what a show, you know.
Yeah. I'll say this, Dynamite really does walk a tightrope act of performing like high octane action matches and then also not taking itself too seriously, like silliness.
Yep.
And tonight really showed that. The two, like we call it, the double main events, dude, you slap those on any wrestling program and they're going to still be like match of the night candidates.
Absolutely.
You know? But then you also
this is in the same night with the Hangman Page versus Isaiah Cassidy match too earlier on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you couple that with Chris Jericho and MJF murdering Young Buck's dad and Kenny Omega in like this workshop of horrors, and it's like there are two extremes to Dynamite, and if they're for you, which by all means, like obviously you and I sound like shills by this point, it's such a fun show.
I love Dynamite, man. It's the one wrestling show I make sure I watch every week.
Yeah,
hands down.
Yeah,
and I get it. You know, the WWE products, you're gonna get something that's like super fucking polished, and you know you're gonna get stuff that like all the in-ring work is gonna look, you know, like it should and all that stuff. But who gives a fuck if it isn't cool?
Yeah,
I
mean, and like it's like anything else, and I think at the end of the day, like any other fandom, you know, it's you don't have one size fits all for everybody.
Exactly,
and that's the thing, is it really doesn't. I will say this though before we sign off. Somebody find me the cell phone footage of Darby Allin dangling in that zip line. I know that man had to dangle for at least 10 seconds. While everyone stood around trying to figure out what to do. Find me that footage.
that was bad.
I'm pretty convinced that shit had to have been pre-taped. I don't know, man. But
I don't know if it was pre-taped. Either way, it was a botch.
Yeah,
so.
it was definitely a botch.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, anyways, I learned my lesson letting Kev sign us off last time. So you guys, thank you all for joining us. Tune in every week. Check us out. And like always, man, y'all have a good one. Thanks, Kev.
Yeah.